So I have both Ava and Shelby here to share with you. It's breathable and ventilated. It's nice and stretchy. You're not going to have to brush it as much. You're not going to have it rubbing against your clothing as much. This is a 100% hand-tied cap. Having all of these layering allows you to kind of play with the style a little bit more, and it's just going to be one of those easy throw on and go styles that's probably going to last you a long time. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda, and today I'm going to be sharing with you two newer releases by Jon Renau just this fall called Ava and Shelby. But before I jump into them both, I'm going to remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. All right, so last week I released a video on two of Jon Renau's other newer releases, Jillian and Olivia, and those were two longer styles that Jon Renau just released this October 2025. And I had promised that I was going to come back with another video to share their two other releases, Ava and Shelby, which are their shorter bobs that they just came out with as well. So that is what we will be talking about in this video. So I have both Ava and Shelby here to share with you. And although they have some similarities in the sense that they're both, bobs, they're actually quite a bit different. So let's take a look at Shelby first. And you know what? First, we're gonna just take a quick look at this color here. This is the color 6F27. So this is basically a nice, rich, almost a warm medium brown color. And then we're highlighted here with that 27, which when you kind of take it off, it almost looks like a strawberry blonde in a way. It's kind of like a light, golden strawberry honey brown. I know that's a lot of words in one, but that's just what I feel like it looks like. If you're someone who likes a hazelnut by Raquel Welch, RL8/29, you might like something like this 6F27 here. All right, let's turn this inside out and take a look at the cap construction so we can see what Shelby has to offer you. So Shelby's gonna have that full monofilament top, which allows you to part this anywhere you want, which is fantastic to have. And then it also gives you that illusion of a scalp wherever you part it. Then we also have this extended temple to temple lace front that gradually melts into your felt ear tabs that are nice and soft. And then of course, within that ear tab, you're gonna see that, you see that kind of line there. That's the metal stay that they put inside these ear tabs, which allows the wig to stay flush against your temples, so it's not like flopping around everywhere. And this is what is helpful so that you don't need to use any glue or adhesive to keep it down at your temples. Aside from that, we have this open wefted cap here, which means that it's open, like you can stick your fingers through it. It's breathable and ventilated. It's nice and stretchy. And it basically means that all of the fibers have been sewn by a machine into these rows here that you see. And then we have just a felt nape with your Velcro adjusters to adjust your circumference to make it a little bit tighter if you need to. So now that we've gone over the cap for Shelby, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on and give a little chat about what she's all about. So the great thing about these new releases by Jon Renau is that they're gonna be a pretty low density. So you can see that here with Shelby. She doesn't have too much hair on her and she's sitting pretty low profile. So overall, you're gonna find this to be a pretty lightweight style and fairly low density, not like low, but pretty low. You're also gonna find there is a touch of permatease on this. It's not a lot though. I mean, if you're looking at this, it kind of gives me a little bit of an Ignite vibe by Jon Renau. It's a little bit shorter in the back, a little bit longer in the front. But if you are someone who, when you looked at Ignite, you were like, ooh, there's like a lot of permatease in that. I want it to be a little bit more of a toned down version. This might be your answer. There is permatease in this, but it's not too much. So it's gonna be there to give you a little bit of volume, a little bit of structure, but that permatease is mostly situated like at the back and the crown. You're not really gonna find it in the side of your cap at all, which helps it lay nice and low profile here. Then you have a touch of it in the back here that sort of helps give you a little bit more volume and structure, helps bring out that layering and sort of that subtle stacked look that it has in the back. But let me give you guys a quick spin. Now, because this is a lower density, that means that you're gonna easily be able to tuck this behind your ears, which I know a lot of people love. And just so we all know, this is made with regular synthetic fiber. So your traditional synthetic, this is not a heat-friendly synthetic fiber. This is just your regular synthetic fiber. So I'm sure you can see a little bit of a shine going on, which is what you're gonna see a little bit more on these regular synthetic fibers. You're gonna find that this length is a really great length for overall maintenance. You're not gonna find it to be too tangly throughout the day because it's really not that long. You're not gonna find that it gets too frizzly and frazzly at your ends because you're not gonna have to brush it as much. You're not going to have it rubbing against your clothing as much. There's just gonna be less friction and less action going on to cause any wear and tear on the ends of your fiber. So any synthetic style this length is gonna be a really great workhorse wig for you and likely last you a pretty long time. Now let me give you a glance at this lace front here. So they have brought that lighter color forward onto your lace front for this color 6F27 to help make the knotting on your lace front a little bit less noticeable. But then overall with this color, you are gonna find that that comes forward to frame your face quite a bit. So just so we're all aware, it's definitely there to frame your face. And then of course we do have that full monofilament top. So you can part this wherever you want. So that's what your monofilament top is gonna look like with this color in particular, of course. And this is gonna be a right side part. For some reason, all the wigs in this world are either a left part, a center part, or a full monofilament top. There are like no right parts out there. It's so strange. But anyways, with these full monofilament tops, you can do any parting you'd like, which gives you a lot more styling versatility, which makes wigs even more fun. Now, Shelby here fits very true to average. So I have a petite sized head. I measure 20.5 inches in circumference, 11.5 inches front to nape, and 11.5 inches ear to ear. Shelby is a little bit big on me. I can move her around my circumference quite easily, and I would personally bring in the adjusters a little bit to help it fit my circumference. I also do find that I have some extra bulk within my cap. So overall, this is a very true to average fit. It will fit you likely if you are a little bit bigger than average as well. And if you are a petite size like me, you definitely need to bring in your adjusters and also be okay with having that extra bulk. But overall, you guys, Shelby here is gonna be a very low maintenance, easy to wear, easy to just throw on and go type of a style. And like I was mentioning earlier, if you are a lover of Ignite, you might like this as a fun little change. All right, now if you're looking for something with a little bit more of a luxurious cap and something maybe a touch longer than Shelby is, then you have to look at Ava. So Ava here, the cap is gonna be a bit different. Although we have still that full monofilament top on Ava, where you can part it anywhere you want while giving you the illusion of scalp, and while we still have that extended temple to temple lace front that melts into your felt ear tabs with those metal stays, Ava here is actually a hand-tied cap. So this is a 100% hand-tied cap. We have 3 panels here. The upper panel and the lower panel, they are not stretchy, but this center panel is nice and stretchy and soft. You're also gonna have an extended felt nape on Ava with your Velcro adjusters. I have Ava here in the really popular 24BT18S8, also known as shaded mocha. When I look at this, I see a lot of darker golden blonde, lighter golden brown, and a little bit of cool blonde going throughout this. Plus, you're gonna have a medium brown root. Let me go ahead and do a switch so we can see what Ava looks like on. And you know what? Out of these two, I like Ava the best. Now, because Ava here is that fully hand-tied cap, I find this to be the more comfortable cap out of the two. I do also find that this fits my petite head just a little bit better. It's still a little bit big on me. I would still bring in the adjusters a bit, but I find that hand-tied caps are a little bit less bulky on my petite head and just generally form to my head a little bit better than wefted caps. Now, in comparison to Shelby, I find that Ava is just gonna be a little bit fuller. The density on this is gonna be a little bit more than Shelby was, but you're not gonna find any permatease on Ava because this is a 100% hand-tied cap. So whenever you have any hand-tied portions of a wig, you're not gonna have any permatease there. So any fullness you see on here comes from this low to medium density that we have, as well as the layering in here. Having all of these layering allows you to kind of play with the style a little bit more and gives it a little bit more of that light and airy feel to give it that volume. Here, let me turn around so we can take a look at this whole style. I'm always loving the lace fronts on the color shaded Mocha. So because this has a darker root, they have brought forward this golden blonde to make the knotting on your lace front less noticeable. But it's done in a really subtle way, and I don't feel like there's too much of that golden blonde coming forward to make it such an obvious banding effect that I've talked about before whenever you have a rooted color. And now still with Ava, you can part this anywhere you want with that full monofilament top. Now, just like Shelby, Ava is made with that regular synthetic fiber, so you will see a little bit of a shine to it. However, overall, Ava here is going to be easy to maintain because of this length. You're not gonna have to do a lot to reduce frizz. It's also not gonna tangle very much. And it's just gonna be one of those easy throw on and go styles that's probably gonna last you a long time. Now, if you are sitting here trying to decide between these two styles, wondering which one should I get, I'm gonna put on Shelby one more time for you so you can see more of an immediate difference. But overall, I find that Ava, the one on my head right now, is gonna have a little bit more hair. You're also gonna have more layering in this throughout the style, as well as in the front. You can see the layering in the front here. And I just find the cut for Ava to be a little bit more funky. There's a little bit more going on. Now with Shelby here, let's take a look at Ava one more time. With Shelby, I find this one to be a little bit more sleek, a little bit less layering happening. And although there's some layering in this, it's not as much, it's not as piecey, and it's a little bit more sleek than Ava is. But you do have that ever so slight stacking at the back with that slight permatease to give you a little bit of lift if you need it. And then again, that super slight difference with the length at the back being a little bit shorter than at the front. Now, like I said, I personally prefer Ava over Shelby, not only for its comfortable cap, but I just like the cut on me a little bit better. But I'd love to hear which one you think you would prefer. Let me know in the comments, you guys. And you know what? I think that is pretty much all I have to share with you about these two new pieces by Jon Renau. So as always, thank you so much for being here and supporting me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.